Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another beer review. I'm sorry for the formal attire. This is because I've just come back from work, so ignore the shirt. Ignore the shirt. Today we're going to be going for Brouwerij de Molen and their Heen and Weer, which is their Abbey Tripel. If you don't know much about Belgian style beers, a triple is essentially a strong pale ale, a Belgian style strong pale ale. It just refers to when they used to mark the cask up, they used to have X's along the side of the barrel, so a single X would be roughly a 3% kind of strength beer, and a double would be around 6%, and a triple, 3 crosses, triple X will be around a 9% beer, which I believe this one is indeed 9.2%. Brouwerij de Molen, it stands for the mill, I believe, the mill brewery, based in the west of the Netherlands, and this beautiful, beautiful mill from all the pictures I can see, which they call the Ark Dove, named after Noah's dove on the Ark, obviously. So it's quite interesting, and they pride themselves in being in part of the green belt and being quite an ecological brewery. They're in such a beautiful little part of the lowlands, and in a true, I would say in a true kind of Netherlands style, they emulate Belgian beers quite well. If you've ever gone to Amsterdam, apart from other things that you can do there, the bars there are fantastic, and they have such a wide range of Belgian style beers, and they really treat them with respect. So without further ado, let's crack this beer on open and give it a shot. I mean, Belgian beers have the Belgian floral yeast in them, so they're going to be fruity in flavour. Oh god, I need to get a good bottle opener, because look at that, it's just bending and not cracking. There we go, got it. Nothing's going to come off the top there. Having said that, it looks like there's a bit of gunk around the edge of the bottleneck, which isn't, you see all the little gunk kind of around it. I'm not sure where that's come from, but that's interesting. Very interesting. You can see the beer's all the way to the top of the neck as well. How odd. I wonder if the seal's been broken. Anyway, right, let's give it a pour and see what we find. So it's going to have a quite floral taste, I imagine, and it's pale ale, so it's going to be very heavily hopped, so we hope it should be quite interesting. Pouring into a Belgian glass, obviously. Now, if you were doing things right, you'd have the right glass for the right beer. I don't have that kind of money to be able to find them, and it's quite difficult to get them all and things out here. So as you can probably see it in the camera, absolute ton of carbonation. Loads and loads of really fast bubbles, got all cropping up to the top, and loads sticking around the sides as well. A tiny bit of head. I didn't give it a too vigorous pour, but it is a lovely, hazy, opaque, what colour shall I call it? I guess that is kind of almost the epitome of amber. It's a lovely amber colour, and you can't see through it, obviously. There's loads of pretty light sparkling on the camera, so I can see from this lighting I've got beneath the countertop here. Alright, so let's shove our nose in and give it a smell. Oh, yeah. Oh, predominant smells of Belgian yeast going on in there. Quite peachy, I would say. It's kind of soft, citrusy, soft, fleshy, fruity smells coming through. Oh, it smells really nice. It smells kind of almost like it's a fruit juice. I can shove my nose in front of fruit juice. Peaches and apricots. That sort of smell. There's a little bit of hops coming through at the end, a little bit bitter, piney note, but not much in the way of a malt body. Not much in the way of a malt body. I assume they're using something like Abbey malts in this. Again, a very traditional Belgian malt, which is very sugary and helps the Belgian yeast propagate really well. So it's going to have a quite sweet malty taste if it has a malty taste at all, really. So let's crack on in there and give it a try. Cheers, guys. Ooh. Oh, that's really interesting. It's got quite sour taste to it. A lovely full force hitting bit of hoppy flavour right at the beginning, and nice bit of sweet malt, So you get a real kind of almost a piney and resiny flavours and deep dark malty, I should say sugary malty flavours. It tastes almost quite cakey in that respect. And you get a lovely onrush of really sour taste. The immediate thought that came to my mind was Marmite yeast extract. It tastes kind of like yeast extract, which is, you know, the love it or hate it food. Let's be totally honest. I love it. I really like Marmite, so it kind of works for me, really, to be honest. This bottle is, by the by, I might add, is just under a year old, a couple of months under a year old, so 10 or so months old. So it's had a lot of time to ferment in the bottle. This one's bottle fermented, I did mention that earlier. You can just about see some of the gunk at the bottom. So perhaps that's some of the flavour that's developed from that is a more prominent yeasty flavour. But you do get kind of nice fruity, softy, peachy flavour as well. Nice kind of, the nice sugary, malty, molassesy, not molasses, that's too strong. Sugary, something like demerara sugar, a slightly brown sugary flavour. And then you get a nice peachy kind of follow on from there. A little bit of piney resin, and then this really sour taste that kind of dries the palate, but it's really interesting. I've not experienced that in a triple at all, really, thus far, until this beer, and it's quite enjoyable actually. It's certainly a little bit of a curveball, and it makes it a really pleasant beer to try because it's so different. And I think I really like this. I think I do. It's not a traditional triple, I wouldn't say. I don't think it has a traditional triple flavour, and I'll have to do some more reviews with other beers that I've had as triples that I would recognise more as having a triple flavour. This one almost has a slightly lambic-y flavour. I mean, the only thing that's just making me think about that is this kind of, it's just not coming in the camera very well. It's like a white residue around the bottle top, and it's kind of sticking the cap down. So whether or not that's glue or whether that is something that's perhaps, I don't want to say infected the beer because it doesn't taste like it's infected. If you can taste an infected beer, it tastes foul and it stinks to high heaven. It smells funky and it's really disgusting. This hasn't got that flavour, but I'll have to see. Maybe they've used something else. Maybe there's some Brett in there or some wild yeast that they're using as well as the Belgian yeast to give it that flavour. Because I haven't come across that before. It's not a typical Brett flavour. They're not a typical Brettanomyces flavour. So I'll have to do a bit of research and maybe dig around and find out what that is. And I haven't done mouthfeel. I'd say it's quite light actually. The carbonation on the tongue is very pleasant and smooth. It almost feels like a kind of champagne yeasty sort of smoother. So it's super smooth and loads of bubbles fizzing around and just kind of touching your tongue and bursting away as fast as it gets there, and that's a really nice textural feel on the tongue. And it feels very light, very quaffable, very drinkable. Maybe I'd be pushed to say look, there's a tiny little bit more chunks, and maybe it's slightly almost medium body, but it definitely doesn't have as much bite. It feels very light and refreshing in that sense. So there you have it. The Molen Heen and Weer. I really enjoy it. It's different from an Abbey triple. I think I'm going to give this one an 8 out of 10. It's a good beer. It's a really nice beer. I'll certainly try it again. It's got some unusual flavours in it that made me go like, ooh, what is that? And it kind of certainly piqued my interest, but not in a revolutionary sense. Not like when I've tried some peat smoked porters and things like that have got really interesting flavours. Made me go like, oh, this is fantastic. Nothing like that just yet. With this beer, but still lovely. So go out, give it a shot, have a look at the website for Molen and have a look at their brewery, because it's really pretty. This Arc Dove, and it's worth, even for that, just having a look. And it's definitely worth going and have a visit. It's always worth visiting breweries. You learn so much from where you go and how much passion they put into the beers. So thank you very much. Like, favourite, and subscribe. All of the above. Make sure you watch the Cooking with Bear videos. There's been a couple up on the internet so far. I had so much fun doing them. I really want to do more of them. give me some recipe ideas and stuff. I could really appreciate that. And I shall see you in the next review. Thank you.